That is my infamous Black Panther salute. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Happy New Year 2026. And this is The Pollinator. If you like the content of my videos, you can like, you can share. There is a subscribe button over here. I think over here. And from time to time, I will pop videos up over here with cards for YouTube. I'm probably not going to publish this tonight. I'll probably do it in the morning. And because it's just, you release stuff at this time of night and people are less likely to watch it than if you do it in the daytime, people's usual hours. I'm not usual by any stretch of the imagination. I am a terminal night owl, and I do my best work in the middle of the night. So, I've yet to talk about the topic that I'm going to discuss tonight. And before I get into that, I'd love to be talking about the murder of Renee Nicole Good by ICE. But, independent media has taken it and run with it ad nauseum. And if you want to see a bunch of the independent media people, head over to the Substack platform. It's a publisher's platform. It is a writer's platform. When I discovered it, it was just writers. You couldn't actually do lives over there. You could import them from YouTube over there or whatever you use to do videos with. But within the last year, I think, they have been beefing up their live support over there. I haven't made a live yet on that platform because I really don't like interacting with, I didn't like interacting with people when I couldn't see their comments running along the side, or maybe it's over on this side, that I couldn't see comments to even talk to anybody with because I could not see very well. But I got new eyes. I got LASIK surgery a few months ago. And now I can see all that stuff, and maybe I will do a live on YouTube, or maybe I'll do one on Substack. But anyway, I'll put those down in the description of this video. And I won't talk about that murder, which is absolutely infuriating, but maybe I'll do that separately in combination with some other things going on in this country. But for now, I'm going to talk about a legal business by the name of, it fell out of my, Lambda Legal. Lambda Legal. I've been dealing with them sort of on and off for the last 10 years. And let me tell you something about that place. I don't know if it's the fact that I'm black, I'm in the South, I'm trans, or what it is, but those people refuse to take on anything. Even if I explicitly explain that, being in the South, trying to find an attorney down here, given my set of circumstances, is very, very difficult because, I could be running into all sorts of phobic assholes and racists down here in the South. And of course, they've got everything split up that way so that if you ask them for help, they ask you what state you're in, and then they try to connect you with people in that state. Down here, they have been insufferably bad. Insufferably. They won't take on anything that isn't going to probably give them a very high profile, which is really unfortunate to the average Joe, because we've got a lot of problems going on in this country and we need the legal help. And so what they end up doing almost every time is referring me to the Bar Association. If I wanted to do that, I wouldn't contact them. These issues are sensitive by nature, and I've had at least mm, 6 to 8 issues that I brought to their attention, and every single freaking time I get told, they don't have the manpower, they're too busy, and look, I'm 68 fucking years old. I know what too busy means. It means the same for all sorts of kinds of relationships in this country. And if somebody tells you that they're too busy, what they're really saying is you're not a high priority for us. And it just keeps making me wonder, well, what the fuck is a priority? I remember this was probably 10 years ago, 9 years ago, or something like that, that a young Native American woman had trouble changing their name. And I don't know if they were female to male or male to female. I wasn't quite sure. I think the picture I saw was of either non-binary or somebody that looked feminine. So okay, I don't know what they were, but Lambda Legal took on that case because it was high profile that they were giving that Native American a hard time because of her name, perhaps having a different kind of birth certificate or not having a birth certificate at all, and them not helping that one legally change their name. So I remember them taking that on, and then I lost track of Lambda Legal. Then I ran into a guy that I've been associates with for a long time now, who keeps bragging about his associations with people of Lambda Legal from the CEO on down. And I keep being referred to them by him. And even if I mention his name, that still doesn't matter. Like this last issue that I had, well, 2 issues really, I went from the guy that he recommended on down the chain of command, leaving messages, sending emails, all sorts of things. And it took forever for me to contact somebody. And then when I did, it was some help center person. It wasn't the people that I was trying to contact. And this issue is about Johnson & Johnson, who I did a talk for many years ago for their LGBTQ plus employees. And years later, like last year, I found out that they had taken my photo. They'd taken a photo that I never gave them. I didn't give them permission to do what they did. And they took a photo, attached some words that made it look like I was in a depression because I'm trans. And I hit the roof because, number one, they outed me without my permission. They put me out there on the internet for all to see. And they made it look like I was some kind of nut job who was depressed. I was depressed. For 14 years I was depressed, but it wasn't because I was trans. I didn't even know it. I was trans until the end, and actually transitioning lifted a majority of the depression. So they didn't, whatever they said in there, I don't know whose decision it was for them to throw me out there on the internet, but they did. And I was talking to a woman, and I guess she was vetting me, because I gave her a picture and she ran out there with the picture and looked to see if my picture was elsewhere on the internet. And up popped that company, that business. And I sent them a message saying, you know what, you need to take that down. It misrepresents who I am. It misrepresents what I talked about during that LGBT talk I did for them, for their employees. And it was all confidential at the time. So I don't know who made the decision to start throwing people out on the internet without their permission. I did not know I was out there. Of course, that lady ghosted me because of what they said about me. And I'm pissed. I'm like, somebody help me go after that company. It's a huge company, right? If they wanted to, if Lambda Legal wasn't so damn busy, they could take that on, and I could probably win a case of not only defamation, but psychological damage, because I was really upset that they did that. And again, Lambda Legal left me on my head and tried to refer me back to the Bar Association lawyers in the South. Hell, I had an issue with Equifax, who, because I changed my name, they locked me out of my account for over a year. And because I changed my name. Just little bullshit like that. And Lambda Legal always deferred me onto somebody else. In which, when I tried to talk to somebody else, they had issue with me being trans or being black or being both, or God only knows. Sexism in our community is a lot bigger than people think it is, especially if you're a BIPOC, a Black, Indigenous, or person of color. They treat us all kind of wrong in our own community through being sexist. Like really. Sexist or racist. With the white guys, it's racist. With the white women, trans women, it's sexism. They do not like a strong, outspoken black man around their camp. So we run into this intersection of bullshit that these quote-unquote attorneys, who are probably white, all of them, know my name, and probably it's setting off some kind of flag where they will not take on anything and they won't support me. And they're really virtually the only legal LGBTQ representation that I have down here in the South, but they won't do diddly. And I'm very disillusioned and what's that other word? It's like we're disenfranchised no matter what we do in this fucking country. Disenfranchised. They don't care what we're going through. And that's just one of two issues I brought to their attention. The other was a business by the name of, sorry, it slips my mind. I might think of it as I'm talking about it. But it's another business who I applied for a loan before I changed my name. And for some reason, I applied for a loan. They declined it. And I went on about my life. I don't know what I did about it. But 10 years later, they start sending me emails, privacy notices and whatever, with my old dead name. And I have asked them to change my name or take it down. And they wanted me to prove my identity, my court documents, with a company I never did business with. And you know what Lambda Legal said it was? A consumer issue. I didn't consume anything. I didn't get the loan. I've never done business with them. And there's no reason why they can't delete that account. And if they want to put it fucking back, if they want to put it back there and send me advertising, marketing crap, send it to the right person with the right goddamn name. And that's the other issue that I brought to Lambda Legal's attention. And of course, they misconstrued. They put both of those issues are in the wrong category. And then they use that to say we don't have enough people, or this isn't the right kind of case for us to take on. I'm telling you, it's much like racism, which we have to be somehow abused physically in order for them to take anything on our behalf. You know how people consistently are saying, sue them, sue them. First of all, they don't understand that to sue somebody, it takes money. Attorneys don't like working on a contingency basis, and they sure enough don't like working pro bono. If you're dirt poor, maybe, but I'm no longer dirt poor, but I can't afford them either. So they use all sorts of tricks to not have us represented legally in this country. And that part, I'm sure, is because I'm black. It's like I can't win for losing. Either is because I'm black, or it's because I'm trans, or because I'm both, or because I'm feisty. The guy that brags about his associations with the Lambda legal guys, he said my middle name is Feisty. That's true. I am a feisty character, and I don't care if people don't like it. You know, I have family that told me, well, you know, not you're a black man, you got to tone it down. Really? That's not possible. I'm a Class A personality. I'm feisty as hell. I don't care who doesn't like it. I actually love that about myself. So why should I change my personality or attempt to change my personality for other people's comfort zone? They ain't doing shit for mine. So, you know, I am not prone to altering my behavior for other people's comfort zones. It may get me in trouble one day. It might. But for now, I'm not, See, I was raised in all white neighborhoods of the Midwest. And I was raised to not fear white people. I was raised to compete with white people. I wasn't raised to know my place. I never had a conversation with my parents where they told me, you got to act this way around them, or they're going to feel XYZ, or they're going to do XYZ, or whatever. I never got that kind of, it's not an education, but I just never got that from my parents. They never discouraged me from being whoever I am to get what I want in life. So I carry that to this day. I carry that as an elder, that I am not afraid. And I'm free to express my emotions any way I feel like it. And the way this country is no, you can't, black man. You better tone it down for us, or we're going to be all kinds of upset with you and, you know, close all kinds of doors for you if you don't toe this line, this particular line, whatever they come up with as the line, which is always constantly moving. That's why I don't want to play that game, because they keep moving the goalposts and they keep moving the lines, and you just never know where that line is until you bump into it and fall over. So, yeah, I came in here to talk about that business, and I'm going to actually send this to them, because I don't appreciate being put in the back seat somewhere, to always be pushed away, to always not have misrepresentation or no representation for things that I need legally. You know, it's so bad that I considered going back to school, going to law school. But because I'm disabled by a long shot with the VA, and I didn't pay into the GI system, which I'm not even sure that they did that legally, or that what they told me is actually why I didn't get the GI Bill from the military. But I don't have the GI Bill. So if I want education, I have to go through voc rehab. and not qualify for the GI Bill. And the last guy I talked to said, well, if you go back to school to get this education, we're assuming you're going back to work again. I said, no, that's not why I want to go back to school. I want to know the law. I want to be able to represent myself. I want to be able to represent my friends. I want to be able to represent people who, if not represent, give legal advice to people who need it, that the rest of society is trying to forget. And I'm one of the forgotten ones. I couldn't even find a lawyer to represent me in getting my fucking inheritance from my father. You wouldn't believe what I went through for about 2 years with that. It was disheartening, angering. I could see the game they were playing, again, like the Matrix. I could see right through it. They thought I had a case. They threw up a barrier saying, well, yeah, you got a case, but we want a double-digit $1,000 retainer. I said, well, I don't have all the money. She does, my dad's wife, and my brother. And they knew this. So they wouldn't represent me. And then I had to go through the attorneys of the state that my father passed in. And all of those attorneys, all 35 of them or more, would not represent me in this case. I think they didn't want to go after the white woman and just left me high and dry because I'm black. That's the feeling that I got. I mean, I got attorneys hanging up in my face. I got them laughing at me. I had some that, they were so rude and just so insensitive to the fact that I lost my father and then I got cheated out of my inheritance. My dad's second family wasn't there when he made all his money. I was. My sister was. My mother was. And, right before my dad got sick, or when he got sick, his wife got him to change the will and willed me and my sister out of it. And so guess what? I hate attorneys. They will not represent black people, let alone trans. Should write a book called Black and Trans. Actually, you know what? My New Year's resolution was to shut down social media, just stop interacting with it altogether, quit doom scrolling, and write my book. It's time. I've been dealing with publishers on and off and literary agents on and off, and they're all blood-sucking. They want all the royalties, and then some of them wanted the rights to produce anything that I write in the future after the book is published. And I said, no, how do I know if you're going to do a good job that I want you writing anything for me in the future? You can't have rights to my fucking life. You kidding me? But see, that's how the whole system is bent, broken. It's only really there to serve certain kinds of people. And I'm not an ass kisser. So if I don't kiss their ass and make them stroke their egos and make them feel all good about themselves, then they don't want to, I don't know, maybe work with me. I'm not sure what the deal is there, but because I'm easy to work with. I may be a fuss budget and stuff like that, but once you get to working with me, I'm fine. I'm like easy person to live with too. But if they get on my nerves, then no, all bets are off. It's like, no. Then the wrong side of me comes out because I'm like, oh, here we go. these numbnuts, nonsensical people. But anyway, so that's what I came on here to talk about, was that particular, do they call it a business or an agency, or, yeah, they're, oh, wait a minute, they are .org. I think it's an organization. But organizations in the United States are still bent towards white people. Even in the trans community, even in the LGBTQ community. Yes, 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 Lord, they are. And again, I'm not one to just openly kiss somebody's tail, so I've never been like that. I wasn't like that in my career. I wasn't like that in the military. I just wasn't like that. But that's what they cater to. People who talk that language with those sets of skills or whatever. And I don't have any. I barely have any tact. That's why I wouldn't make a good politician, because I curse too much. I mean, I would. Ugh. Did y'all see the Jasmine Crockett talking about what's her name again? The Renee Good killing. She broke down and started crying, and then she dropped the F-bomb. And one of the members of Congress, I don't know who it was, interrupted her to complain about her language. And they don't do that to the idiot, 47. They don't do that to white people. They have two sets of standards, just like MLK said. There are two Americas. White people are starting to see the one that we've had to live with all of our lives. But they're starting to see that there's two different sets of rules in this country. But she was talking about the murder versus the F-bomb. When they got Congress calmed down, because all sorts of people started talking at the same time when that guy interrupted her, then they let her continue on, and whoever was chairing the meeting made comment in reference to, watching your language because it's on TV. They can bleep shit on TV. After the moron called a woman piggy right to her face, give me a break. See the two differences, the two worlds? If you're a white guy, you get away with saying any fucking thing. If you're a black guy or a black woman, you don't. Then they want to fucking police your language. And I've had people do that to me on every platform I've ever been on, and I'm like, kiss my fucking ass and don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me how to talk. If you don't like how to talk, you don't have to listen to me. You don't have to follow me. You don't have to watch me. Fuck all that. You know what? If you don't like that, bye. I don't force anybody to listen to me or watch me or whatever. If you're Pollyanny Disney fucking princess ears are offended by curse words, then you're a control freak. Or one of these people that I guess your religions tell you that it's not okay to do that. Well, not everybody lives under your religion, and nobody should be forced to live under a religion they don't want to live under. Too many rules in religion, I swear. God loves you anyway, no matter how you are. Unless you're physically, if you're hurting somebody, then you know what? Buzz off. You don't. Anyway, I don't appreciate people policing my language or policing me. I'm too old for that crap. I'm a grown-ass man. I'm an elder. Go police somebody who's impressionable, who you think you can change with your rules, your set of rules. You don't pay my mortgage. You don't pay my car payment. You don't pay my bills. So it's none of your business how I talk. Anyway, that's probably part of the reason why. Well, see, I don't curse at those people, but I was going to say part of the reason why Lambda Legal is so negligent. I've never cursed at them. I've expressed displeasure when they neglected me again. 10 years I have not gotten them to do one thing. And I've brought in at least 6, 7 things to their attention that I need help with. They always find an excuse. They always find a reason not to. And for that, they're like any other stupid ass business in America with 3 Ks. Anyway, I thought I've got a new hat. I've turned into the Hat Man because, you know, I'm going bald and it just bothers the hell out of me. But and then I left this this thing on, you know, like 30-year-olds, 20-year-olds, or whatever. I'm debating on taking it off because I'm not a millennial. I'm not younger than that. So I kept it on for this just to see if I liked having it. The sticker, I don't even know what that says. Multicam, the original multicam something, arid. Anyway, I hope everybody has a blessed weekend. It's getting ready. It'll be Friday by the time I release this. And I'll talk about something else on my next video. The pollinator is out.